Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So yesterday, two baby tree squirrels fell out of the roof, so we left them there for a little while just to give the mother a chance to come back and look for them. But as you guys know, we have monkeys, baboons and other squirrels in our garden, so they would definitely have killed them if they had found them. Also, we didn't know how long they'd already been out there for, so we didn't want them to become too dehydrated. So we decided to bring them in. Now, we have successfully raised and released squirrels in the past, but the squirrels currently live in our garden and they are extremely territorial, so we probably wouldn't be able to release these guys here anyway. So we're just keeping them here temporarily until we can take them to a rehabilitation center, which is what I suggest most people do anyway. It's just what's going to be best for the animal. So anyway, now I'm going to show you guys how we care for these little guys and how I make their milk. We have quite a few squirrels living in our roof, and occasionally their babies fall out. Since we live deep in a big 5-game reserve in Africa, we need to be prepared for situations like this. That's why we always keep kitten milk formula and rehydration supplies on hand provided by our veterinarian to care for them when things like this happen. There are a number of reasons as to why baby squirrels fall out of their nests. Sometimes it's due to strong winds, an unstable nest, or babies exploring too early. Other times a mother may reject a weak or deformed baby, or males may push them out to reduce competition, especially if the babies aren't theirs. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how I make their milk. So we use kitten milk formula, although I have seen some people use puppy milk or goat's milk. This is just what we've raised all of our other squirrels on, and they seem to really like it, so we're just going to stick to this. Then I use the bottle that this came with. I have seen some people use syringes. I don't think it really matters. I just prefer this because I feel like I've got more control over it. Also, it's nice because the squirrels can hold it if they want to, so it's got different settings. There's a 1, a 2, and a 3. This just determines how fast the milk comes out. But now I'm going to sterilize this. We do this every time we put fresh milk in just to be extra careful because they are very sensitive. For the milk, so I use a ratio of 1 to 2, so 1 part formula to 2 parts water. It has to be boiling just to be extra careful, and then we're going to mix that up, let it cool down, and then we're going to pour it into the bottle. My family hates this one of this stuff because they think it stinks, but I really like it because it reminds me of baby animals. Almost forgot to mention, when we first took them in, we started them off with rehydrate before giving them the milk. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, let's go feed some squirrel. So I'm just going to put this blanket over my dress because this milk stinks and I don't want the little nails to hook on anything because when you pick it up, it could hurt them. So here's the milk. I'm just going to test it here on my arm. You don't want it to be too cold, otherwise it's going to hurt their stomach, but then you also don't want it to be too hot, otherwise, well, you're going to burn them. I think this is just right. So I'm going to get them. You hungry? Hold on. I'm sorry to wake you. Okay, so the squirrel has to be warm, otherwise it won't feed. And then I'm just going to use it on its lowest setting. When baby squirrels are very young, they can't potty by themselves, so we need to help them by gently rubbing their tummies with a warm damp cloth. These little ones, however, are already big enough to handle it themselves, as their digestive systems are developed enough to function without our help. They still really love a tummy rub though. You can usually tell a squirrel's age just by looking at a few key things. When they're newborns, they're tiny, pink, and have no fur. Around 3 weeks old, their fur starts to grow in, and by about 5 weeks, you'll see their eyes begin to open. At 6 to 7 weeks, like these little guys, they start to look like miniature squirrels, still a little bit clumsy, but very cute. By 8 to 10 weeks, they're active, fluffy, and love to climb absolutely everything. Once they hit around 12 weeks, they're pretty much young adults and ready to live on their own. I have a feeling that the reason they fell out of the roof this time was because of a goshawk that lives in our garden. We have seen it catch multiple squirrels in the past right in front of us, and I think it might have caught their mother. They then probably became really hungry, started to look around, and fell out, and that's when we found them.
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? Watching you stand alone.
Ouch! Ouch! I'm hungry. This was the moment where I realized they're probably ready for some solids in their diet. So we introduced them to some apple, which they absolutely loved, and some seeds, which after the sweet, juicy apple, they weren't as excited about. It's this common misconception that squirrels should be eating all these nuts, but honestly, too many can actually make them really sick. Nuts might look like their favorite food, but they're super fatty and can mess with their bones and teeth over time. They can even get weak or struggle to move properly. So while they love them, that should really just be an occasional treat, not their main diet. So if you ever want to feed a squirrel, try fresh fruits and veggies instead. Trust me, they'll be just as happy. Here we're on our way to the rehabilitation center. I was so sad to see them go, but I know they'll have happy lives.
One step